Well, hey, this is your old friend Homer down here on the farm. Hope y'all are okay. We doing fine, me and Hermina, Uncle Irvin, Aunt Sulu, all doing pretty good far as I know down here. Listen, we was sitting around the other night, after supper, just a-chatting and a-talking about old times. It's getting, harvest season here. The weather's getting cooler and churches are having their harvest festivals, with their cakewalks and bobbing for apples and all of this here. It's a good time of year. Everybody's happy. Everybody gets together after working hard all summer. It's a good time of year. Hope y'all are good. We're good. Like I said, we're doing fine. As far as I know, we're okay. But anyway, we were sitting around after supper, and Uncle Irvin got to laughing and carrying on. And I said, Uncle Irvin, what are you laughing about? He said, well, I was just thinking about a long time ago, old Ryford Hunsucker. Ryford married Miss Zuni. Zuni, she was a Perndle before she married Ryford. And they lived down the gravel road there and had a farm and good people. But Uncle Irvin said he remembered the time that Ryford had gone to the all-night bingo game down at the back room of the hardware store down there in town. And it had got late, and Ryford decided he'd wrap it up and go to the house. See, he needed to get on back to the house. He knew if he didn't get back in a reasonable time, Miss Zuni would be kind of upset with him. So he took off down the road there in town, and to get to his house, he decided it was dark and it was late, and he decided that he'd cut across the old graveyard down there at the end of the road down at town there. To get to his house, he could cut and take a shortcut, see, across the graveyard and go through there and go through the woods and hit the gravel road and go on to his house. Well, he turned in there and started across the graveyard, taking that shortcut, but what he didn't know was old Claiborne Niederham, they called him Shovel. He was a grave digger. Claiborne was in the graveyard digging a grave. One of the old people down there in the county had passed away, and they was having a funeral the next day, and Claiborne had to dig a grave. They didn't have machines to dig graves back in them days, so Claiborne was in there digging. Shovel, they called him Shovel. That was his nickname. And so Shovel was in there digging that hole. Had started early in the day and had been digging, till way in the night, and had a pretty good hole. Had it cleaned up and had the sides squared up. And he was down in the bottom of that hole digging. Well, he'd been drinking a little of that moonshine, and he decided he'd take a little break. He was a little sozzled and a little tired because he'd been digging a while, So he decided he'd take a break. Well, he scooted up there at the end of that grave hole there at one end, leant back against the dirt there and just kindly dozed off to sleep, see? And there he was, asleep. Well, here come Ryford down across the graveyard, and Ryford happened to step across there and fell in that hole, fell at the other end of that hole, that grave hole there. Down at the bottom of that hole, and he looked up, and there was 6 feet of dirt up there, and he just clawing and scratching, trying to get up out of that grave hole. Well, about that time, Shovel woke up, looked across there and saw Ryford, and he woke up and he looked over there, and Ryford didn't know that Claiborne was at the other end. It was dark, see, and Claiborne was asleep and quiet, so Ryford thought he was in that hole by himself, yeah. And so, when Claiborne woke up, Shovel woke up there and looked across there and saw Ryford scratching and clawing, trying to get up out of that hole, you see. He just said, you might as well stay in here with me. You ain't going anywhere tonight. Well, and then about that time, Miss Dovey and Miss Lovey, the spinster sisters, Plout, Dovey and Lovey Plout, was driving by the graveyard on the old road there in their old car across through there. And they was coming back from a late night church service, and here they come across by the graveyard. They looked over and they seen a streak of dust go by. Sure did. And come to find out, when old Claiborne told Ryford he could need to stay in the hole there with him, he wasn't going nowhere, Ryford got out of that hole. Somehow or another, he climbed up out of that hole and took off. Yeah, he did. And some of the boys that was getting out, they was letting out there at the bingo game, come across there at the courtyard there in town and saw there was old Ryford sitting there at the bus stop on the bench with his head down between his knees, huffing and puffing and panting like an old hot hound dog on a summer day. It was pitiful. It scared Ryford so bad. Everybody kind of got a laugh out of it. Well, they got Ryford okay and got him home and got him all right. But he never did take that shortcut through that graveyard no more. Never did, no. So anyway, Zuni teased him about it for a long time. She thought it was the funniest thing. But anyway, old Uncle Irvin was just laughing and carrying on about that. It's a funny story. I thought I'd tell y'all that. Hope you liked it. But anyway, I'm going to let y'all go and go down here and take care of a few things and hope y'all are okay. Y'all be good. Be careful. We love you and we will talk at you later. Okay? Bye.